Sitting to the right of me, a very special guest, D2BOWIE. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. And sitting to the right of me is our expert, air quote, expert, Ursinity. Ursinity, how are you?
Oh, I'm grand. I'm glad I get to retain some semblance of the quote-unquote expert title, despite our any degree of guest we have.
Even though we have both.
It is what it is, all right?
So
I guess it's all relative.
Really
Yeah,
quick,
it's all relative.
It is all relative. Bowie is able to dissect a pro mind, and you're able to dissect a 4K mind. I mean, it's all relative. You know what I mean? It really is. It all is relative.
It's different.
You know?
It's different tools that need to be in a similar toolbox.
Bowie understands what the best do, and you can play at a 5K-ish. Or,
yeah, I mean,
we don't need to go there, but
we can move on.
You're right. Relativity, we can get into that. And I'm just the guy that talks here because I shouldn't even have MMR. I shouldn't even be allowed. Okay,
your current losing streak. Ooh.
You're doing fine.
See, Bowie said I'm doing fine. I mean, he slows down my replays, and he's like, when Roland plays, watch him. Watch the way he moves. Like, he's moving slightly to the left and to the right to taunt his enemies because he knows he's so much better.
That seems likely.
He loses his games for some reason because he has bad teammates every time. Anyway, we are here because this is going to be Bowie week. Bowie's going to be a guest tomorrow for the one-on-one with Cyphus. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get a background into Bowie's life, what he's done, that type thing. Thursday, he's going to come on Theorycraft Thursday, and he's going to come up with a better combo than Proud or Ursi ever could. And
that's news to me.
It's going to be fun. But we are all here quickly to get some business out of the way for Bowie's Indiegogo. He is raising money for an international trip. You live in Brazil. Brazil. Okay, so you live really close to Washington, closer than I live to Washington then. Brazil's just like right there, right? Like there's an ocean, then there's another ocean in Washington, and they just kind of they touch. You know what I mean? From
I was actually surprised with the ticket prices. I mean, it doesn't seem that far away, but it is bizarre.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm
adds
being
up
facetious.
quickly.
I'm being very.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm definitely being sarcastic. You live very far away, and thus your Indiegogo, and we want to Indie-yo-yo help you out on your Indiegogo.
That's not even a pun.
So without any gushing or further meandering about a topic, I think we're just going to jump right into the show. Bowie, this is a Q&A show. We're going to have people calling in, asking questions about Dota, sometimes personal questions. I know that there are questions specific to you. I don't know what they are. Probably why do you make such good videos? Please keep doing so. Anyway, as I'm getting organized here and pulling up my sheet after sheet, our first caller is Kumamizu. His MMR is climbing, and he has a question for you, Bowie. Kuma, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here as always. Hey, Bowie.
Hey, how you doing?
So, I'd just like to know, it could be for just Bowie or for anyone else who has input, if you've seen a difference in region meta, like from NA to EU to Southeast Asia, if there's a difference between them, and which is your favorite?
Whoa, that's a tricky question. You mean like professional meta or just pub meta?
Either one, whichever one's more interesting.
Well, there's definitely differences, considering that I play on SA and I mainly see replays from people from NA or EU. I can see that in my pubs, there's like way less pudge, way less heroes that people usually say they're pretty common. I guess pudge or
PA. PA is a common one.
Yeah, PA is not actually that common in Brazil. I do play a lot of PA. It's one of my favorite heroes to, when the enemy picks first pick Invoker, I like to get my mid PA. Just
nice.
wreck the shit out of those guys. But there's a lot of. I'm not sure I can actually give a very detailed answer. I'm sure there's a lot of differences, but I don't know.
I think you did answer it. Less Pudge, less PA. You got it, Kuma?
Yeah, on SA at least.
I would say the most important regional meta is the fact that in China they play random draft instead of all pick. And to bring up the topic from like the last, what was it, like 2 weeks ago when they took away all those heroes as a test,
Which I thought was awesome.
I like random draft, so I appreciate the Chinese meta. Although everybody talks about how like China's just a better region in general. Like, I know Korean barbecue Jack, he lost a bunch of MMR. He gains MMR whenever he's back in NA playing, and he loses it whenever he goes back to China because Chinese players are just better. So yeah, I don't like the metagame of people being better than me, but I do like the metagame of random draft. I will say.
I
but
do.
I only play in like NA, and I've played I used to try to game the system and play EU West at one point when I was climbing, and I don't really do that anymore ever unless I have to.
You mean
I will
try
say
and
like
get MMR? You don't do that because you got to your desire.
Well, because I don't need to, dude. I hit my goal. That's a different topic. We don't need to talk about.
I want to go on a quick,
that'll take an hour.
Quick tangent.
But let me ask you a question. What's your ping when you're playing on US?
On EU West, I usually get like around 100, like 110, 120 maybe.
He's talking like on our home servers, I think.
Yeah, I'm in New York, so I'm like right. I get like 20 ping to US East, and then my US West is usually like 80 to 100, and then EU West is usually like 100 to 120. I'm pretty lucky. I'm pretty lucky ping wise.
What's your ping?
I mean, when I play US East, which is the best NA server for me, I get like 160. So it's super hard to actually. I love. People actually shit on the USC servers, but they are so much better than the SCA. But I can't. It's just so laggy. I always have to play support because trying to last hit with 160 ping is impossible for me. And even then, there was this one time I was playing a game with CNC. It was like a 7K average game. And I was just trying to joke around with my Warlock ult and just cancel it. And I randomly ulted the tier 1 tower. There was no one there. And he started flaming me. And I was like, oh my God. And I stopped playing NA for like 1 month. Yeah, sometimes I try, but it's not really good.
Yeah, me and CCNC get paired all the time. And usually he's the one that's feeding, in my opinion. Definitely better than CCNC.
Don't say that. I want to have him on our show.
No, I'm like 2.5k MMR, so you guys are way better than me. Kuma, any other questions specific to Bowie, or
Not
us, or anybody,
Bowie.
Or the world?
I was going to ask how you think Mask of Madness is where it is right now, and in comparison to where it was pre-7.
Well, it's definitely better.
It's way better than when 7.0 came. I'm not sure. I feel like it's slightly worse than on the Hoo Haha days, but it's definitely a legit item. I saw, I guess it was IG Vitality. He built it on Juggernaut, and that was something I never saw. It was on the Summit. They actually lost the game, but he was super farmed. I feel like the item is legit. Maybe even on Sniper. We're not seeing so much Sniper, but those agility carries like Jugger, Luna, I feel like it's a pretty good item. Oh, we even see on Sven, right?
Yeah. I feel like right when it got buffed, people were playing tons of games with it, right? People are always testing out these builds. Like we saw Mask of Madness, Troll Warlord, and all kinds of weird things. And then people stopped doing that after a few weeks, but it's definitely still way better than it used to be. Or at least when it used to be, in the last couple patches. I personally am still not a huge fan. Like I don't play a lot of Mask of Madness heroes either, so I guess that probably factors in. But the getting silenced for like 7 seconds or whatever it is really just scary. I can't deal with that.
One other small little thing if you don't have anything else to add.
Okay.
I noticed that pre 7.0, I used to play a lot of all random deathmatch just to try out new heroes and stuff. And one time I was playing some hero that built Mask of Madness. And I died and came back as Troll. And as soon as I spawned, it registered that I had Mask of Madness. And he said, Mask of Madness? really? So apparently it was really bad on Troll pre 7.0 because it didn't give as many
yeah, I guess it didn't. It didn't give attack before, did it?
It
was
gave,
like
I thought it did.
It was only lifesteal and the bonus, I guess.
Weren't you? You're the ho ho ha ha days is like 6.83 when Sniper and Troll were king, right? Aren't those the days that you're talking about? So I built it on Sniper for speed, then, right? More movement speed than attack. I thought it did give attack speed.
No, it gave both. It gave both.
Yeah, attack speed.
Yeah, but
and
it didn't
speed.
give damage.
Oh, it didn't give damage.
It was bad on Troll because he already had so much attack speed that it didn't make so much sense. He was already a fast hero as well.
Yeah. And you're trying to chase people down with whirling axes and stuff like that. So, using all those abilities does not work well with silencing yourself for 8 seconds or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at that time it didn't silence, right?
Yeah, it didn't use its silence.
Correct.
Yeah.
What it hurt you, right? Like you took more damage, like 35%.
Yeah, you took like
or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and he was very low base HP.
Yeah.
But everybody built stats back then, so like who cares? All right.
Yeah.
Well, on Sniper, you just stand back. It was before the days of the Lance, but you just stand back and I have like 26 rampages in all of my accounts, and I swear like 25 of them were 6.83 Sniper. And it wasn't skillful. It was just me standing there and people walking toward me, and I was just Mask of Madness.
Yep, Mask of Madness, Sage and Yasha.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Scotty.
I miss those days. That was back when I felt like I was good at Dota and that I had it figured out. And then then 6.84 and Glimmer Cape and all that, and I'm still lost. Anyway, Kuma, thank you so much for your question, and you have a great evening, Asaya.
Thank you. You too. Nice to talk to you, Bowie.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
It is nice to talk to.
I'm not used to this,
but you don't get to do it like I do, which is all episode long. Okay, let's read a specific Bowie question, Ursi. You're good at those. You're good at reading those.
I am. All right, from Maf Dota, who is D2BOWIE's pick to win TI? What is the draft that he thinks will win TI? Kind of like TI5 being Storm, Naga, Gyro, ESAA. I don't know if we need to have a specific five heroes.
Oh,
but
cool. Tats. You have tats, man. You got ink. I've got ink.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, cool.
I have some.
Nice.
But back to the question. I feel like
please. Back to the question.
I feel like Charlie that was really hating on Underlord when they were playing the summit. I feel like Underlord is gonna be a very contested hero. I've been messing with him ever since he started getting buffs, because the hero was garbage until I guess 703 when they really nerfed his passive, and with like Luna getting back into the meta, Terrorblade, all these agility carries. He's a good hero. He builds those pushing items. Pushing is actually more better than it was before. So I feel like he has a place in the meta, and I was really happy that which team actually won the Galaxy Battles? It was LGFY, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right. I'm not sure. I didn't watch it. I was watching the summit instead.
Yeah, I have a very weird sleeping schedule, so I watched like half of both, and I'm pretty sure they won playing Underlord. And I feel like this is a hero that's going to be very popular. I'm kind of throwing a ball here because he's actually being very unpopular, but I believe in the Underlord.
Yeah, what pro team do you think has it out? Like we just saw VP win the actual, the summit. People, they arguably like VP. It was just head and shoulders above all the other teams there.
Yeah, I believe they are very good and they are the favorites. But how many favorites ever won TI, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I want to give it to OG, but they also kind of disappointed on the last TI. So maybe Liquid. I guess Liquid. They're like very good, but no one really considers them top tier. They didn't play a lot of tournaments besides that they won. They played Kiev, but it's already a very different patch. Mm-hmm. I guess I would go with Liquid. I feel like they're good enough, but they are not considered favorites, like super favorites. I feel like they would be bottom top 4 if people try to rank the better teams.
I believe in Kuroki. That's why I'll always root for Kuroki team.
And they're kind of like VP, right? A lot of 9Ks. But they feel like slightly more stable to me.
They're good.
They've been together for a while, right?
They have. They didn't change their roster like most teams have. They've been sticking with it, and I do believe in Matumbaman for sure. I love that guy. Like he's just great. Yeah, I mean, I hope it would be cool. It would be cool to see OG win, and so we have the Yankees. So we have the Yankees of Dota 2.
I like that too. A lot of people don't, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I really like them. I mean, how?
But I'm also literally a Yankee fan. So
yeah, I know. I think it'd be cool to have a team that's like, we've won 4 out of 5 majors, and we won TI7. Like, come at us, and then and then have another team come up, and then create a new like alliance versus whatever I don't even remember. I wasn't around back then. What is the alliance versus
El Clásico?
What's El Clásico? What is the other team?
It's Navi Alliance.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about them because they're like 1,000th on the list. So it's kind of hard to keep them, in my frontal lobe. Okay, so our next caller is going to be Nido King.
Do you say Nido King?
Yeah, Nido King.
Nido King. Did you not play Pokemon, Roland?
No, I did, but I've grown up since and forgotten a lot of that information. So I'm sorry.
Well, you're missing out.
I'm just joking. Maybe I never had a Nido King. And how do you even know? Did it have pronunciation guides in Pokemon? We'll see.
Yeah, they did.
We'll see what Nido King has to say about Nido King. His MMR is 3,500. Nido King, hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Is it Nido or Nido?
I call it Nido King.
Nice.
So neither. So we have a Nido King, a Nido King, and a Nido King.
Mine's closer. But let's get to the meat of the question, please, Ursi. Okay. What's your question, Nido King?
Yeah, so I've been trying out the position for roaming role, and I've never really played it before. I'm mostly playing it in unranked, and I'm still trying to get the hang of it. But I kind of understand what to do before the game starts. Depending on my hero, I either steal the rune, ward, or just block mid creeps, stuff like that. And around level 3, I usually feel powerful enough to like rotate, help weak lanes, and try to fill out the map. But from level 1 to 3 is basically no man's land for me. I have no idea what to do. Am I supposed to just leech experience? Because I feel like I don't have enough points in my skills to really be effective. Do I run around taking bounties? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Okay, so I feel like it's very dependent on the hero you're playing. So let's say it actually also depends on the heroes you have on your team. Let's say you have a Quap in your team. She can probably help you get a kill when she's level 2. So instead of you trying to get experience, you really need to just stay around and wait until she's level 2. So you can like try to snipe the courier, you can place wards, you can like scout enemy rotations. And when she's level 2, you can come to the lane. If it's a Shadow Fiend, for instance, you're probably only going to get a kill at level 3 because you need that level 2 raise that increases the damage. So you really need to think about not only yourself, but how your team, how your hero interacts with your mid lane or your off lane, whatever lane you feel like ganking. But it also depends on hero. So if you're playing like Ricky, he can get kills if Quap's level 1 and you're level 1. If you have an Aura of Venom, you can probably get a kill. But if you're playing like Night Stalker level 1, it's very underwhelming. You just need to like maybe pull, get more experience, wait for nighttime. It's kind of complicated, but you need to get the feeling of how much damage you and the lane you're going has and how slippery the enemy hero is.
Yeah. I've been going back and playing more for Kunkka, like we just did on last week's SteerCraft Thursday. And definitely for me, the thing that like Bowie brought up, it's all about what the mid lane matchup is. Because if you have like an Invoker at level 1 on your team, odds are you're not going to be able to kill a Dragon Knight, right? Like you're just going to waste your time and mess up creepy equilibrium and ruin everything. So you're better off just, stacking and pulling or trying to kill the offlaner or putting some pressure elsewhere or just stealing bounty runes. So, yeah, just make like a checklist in your mind and say, all right, which lanes can I kill? Which lanes of my teammates have kill potential? Stuff like that. And move on from there. That's where I would say is the first step. And also knowing what your 4 chosen does and whether they need level 2. Like using Kunkka as the example. You know, you can gank with just Torrent level 1, even though it's nerfed. But if you're playing or Earthshaker gank at level 1, but like again, Night Stalker is probably the best example, right? Where, you know, level 1 Night Stalker, sure, he's annoying, but he's not going to kill anybody.
Yeah.
So you got to wait till level 4 or whatever.
But if you're playing like Ogre, he has a very long range slow that lasts like 6 seconds, I guess. So Invoker probably can't kill anyone, but if you have a Tinker or any other heroes can actually chase, and if they have enough move speed, they can get kills. So it's kind of complicated, but maybe you should just try to focus on 2 or 3 for role heroes and get the feeling of those heroes, and then you can start seeing the interaction with other ones.
Yeah, that's some kind of what I've been doing. It's definitely a weird role for me because I'm used to playing offlane. I definitely feel like I have to play from the tempo of my teammates as opposed to me mostly. It's really strange.
What roamers are you playing?
I've been playing Kunkka and Riki mostly. Kunkka because he's just a badass and he has awesome cosmetics.
Yeah. I would say if you're worried about having to follow your teammates around and rely on them, play Spirit Breaker. In my opinion, Spirit Breaker is one of those roamers that, especially in pub games, he forces stuff to happen. Whereas Riki, or even Kunkka to certain extents, you have to kind of wait for your teammates to be making things happen and to work with you. But Spirit Breaker, your teammates just know, like, all right, I see this guy going in, I'm going to have to follow him up. And if it doesn't pan out, you just leave because you have like 9 armor at level 1 and like 800 health.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, and then the 100% bash chance helps too.
Exactly.
Awesome. Hey, well, Nido King, thank you so much for your question, and you have a great rest of the evening.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Of course. So that leads me to a couple questions. I've been playing Night Stalker lately. I haven't been winning, but I've been playing Night Stalker lately. And I've been doing like a Quell Stout Tango start. So I can go like kill a medium camp for the first 4 minutes, basically so I can get to like level 3 hopefully by 4 minutes. Is there?
But you're playing support, not offlane.
I'm playing. I'm not offlane. Yeah,
I'm not playing support.
I'm playing like roaming.
But you haven't bought any support items. You bought Stout, Quell, Tango.
Yeah.
So you have not bought any.
I'm a
you
4
have like
because I say I'm a
ward.
4. You know, isn't that how that works? Like if you're a 1, you say you're a 1. If you're a 4, you say you're a 4.
It's our role identity.
It seems like the common pub roamer issue. But I mean, people used to do that, right? People used to go like early Iron Town and then you jungle until 4 minutes. But now, I mean, if you just have an Orb of Venom, like Night Stalker has good base stats. You can just run at people. And even if it's not nighttime, you're not going to get kills, but you can still zone people and be, you know, pretty effective.
Yeah. I don't know. This is just what I do, and I guess I call it a 4 because I'm not in the off lane, because I'm in the jungle, and I'm like, no, I'm a 4 Night Stalker, but really I'm just a jungling Night Stalker waiting for nighttime. But I'll upgrade the courier if I have to, or something like that.
Boy.
You know, I will go 150
real charitable
full gold. And of course my goal is to get an Aghanims and a gem. And a gem's a support item.
New Urn's great for Night Stalker. All that mana regen, oh boy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's read another question.
Okay, let's.
Ursinity.
All right. So, from Dark Vapor, who does D2BOWIE think is the most interesting pro player to watch and why? And continuing, who has he learned the most from?
Okay. So, I don't know. I'm a big fanboy of No Tail. I really love when he streams because I always like how you could learn from him, but he was one of those... He was kind of like Bulldog, you know. He has an interesting personality. Kind of... You're drawn to him. So I mean, I really like him as to watch his stream. But when we're talking about like professional matches, I can't help but say Eternal Envy. I mean, I don't know. I really like seeing him play. He has a lot of interesting stuff, even when it doesn't work or when it works. I really like him. I feel like he's kind of an underrated player, to be honest. People usually like to watch him play because of the feats, but I feel like he does a lot of stuff that people don't notice as well. They're good, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My favorite pro player to watch is Ursinity, because you're a pro player, right?
What do we do?
You just act like you're a pro player. I'm super
hey,
sorry.
Man,
it's hard to get
that
that
round to
mixed up.
64 and TI6 qualifiers. I'm pretty sure that's basically being a pro player.
I will agree with Eternal Envy. It's fun because of the unpredictability with Eternal Envy. Like, you'll see him go in, and it's like, I don't think he can get this kill, and he does, and you're like, wow, that's awesome. And then you'll once again be like, I don't think he can get this kill, and he absolutely can't, and you're like, that sucked. So the times that he does get those awesome kills, it's like, wow, this guy is like awesome. And I think it's because of all those times that he has, had all those awesome kills, is why he goes for like those cheeky plays that sometimes pay off. Like, I feel like he's a crowd pleaser. Like when he gets gets playing Dota, he wants to do crazy stuff and make the crowd go wild, whether that's feeder or, oh my god, I can't believe he pulled that off, which is, I'd agree, Envy is really fun to watch.
I guess my second place would be Sumail. I really like that he does a lot of stuff different from other mid players. I mean, if you watch him playing Lina, he would always get different talents. If you watch him play Queen of Pain, he would be bootless at like minute 6 and get a lot of kills. I was really struggling with Queen of Pain because I guess at TI5 she was very popular, and I had like 63% with her playing ranked games. And then afterwards, I had lost like 10 games in a row, and I started like watching his replays, and I feel like I learned her a little bit better in this patch. He does a lot of stuff that other people don't do on her. I really like him playing.
Yeah, and you and probably 8 million other people. Sumail is just, especially with True Sight, where you see him and he just seems so relaxed. Like, I don't know, I look at like players like Bulba or players like Rose or whatever, and they just seem like they are like in their head, like, oh my gosh, like preparing themselves. And you look at Sumail and he's like, whether I'm eating a piece of pizza or I'm playing Dota, it doesn't matter. They're both easy. You know what I mean? I like them both, and they both go down easy type thing. And it's like this child prodigy type thing. But awesome. Let's do some more read questions with mouths.
Yes, read questions.
Read questions.
All right. Next question from Jay Gushi, another South America player of ours. He says, being from South America, do you think that it affected the start and growth of your Dota career? And then he said, if the answer is yes, how are you tackling that issue? Are you planning to relocate to, for example, NA or EU? Or does it not affect you at all? And there's a second question, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, I feel like it does affect me. Not because, that person's from South America, so let's ignore him. But I feel like when you're far away from everyone, you can't attend any events, you can't meet the people that actually are involved. It's just super hard, to bond with people via Twitter and eventually get big. So I feel like in that regard, being from South America did hinder a little bit. I'm not sure if I plan on relocating or not. I guess it would really depend. As of now, I'm not sure I would be able to live on United States, and you kind of need visas and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I love traveling. I love meeting new places. So if I had a chance to relocate, I would probably go for it. But it's not something that I feel like I need to do.
You want to come live in Utah?
Oh, I mean, it'd be great, man.
Do you know much about Utah?
Spare basement?
We have a spare shed, which is a studio, which you could do all your work out here, and then there's a couch.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm up for it. You just need that visa.
Well, you're from the right place in the world. It's okay. We're America's not too worried with our southern neighbors, or are we? I don't know. It's hard to keep up. Anyway, we can move on.
We are not, and that's what's important.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next part of this question before this gets weird.
Thank you.
Do you think that SG will qualify to get to TI, and will they repeat their major success?
That's a tough one. I feel like they have a very big chance of qualifying, like 80%. They did have a few hiccups. I hope it didn't affect them too much. But I'm not sure if they're gonna get that far this time, because I mean, it's kind of like the Edfin and Curse, right? Even though they were pretty good, they were the underdogs. People kind of underestimated them when they could actually research. It was kind of too late. this time, if they're gonna go like past 2 games, which actually they won at Kiev, they won 1 game and they lost the second one for EG. It was very close, but they lost. I'm not sure if they would win more than 2 games. They would really need to step up their game. I hope they can, but I'm just trying to be realistic, especially considering their results after Kiev.
Do you think that SG has the best chance to win the South America qualifier, or is there a different South American team that you would say is maybe has better chances than SG?
I feel like they do. They did have all the experience and all. I feel like there's Infamous. They were qualified to the Galaxy Battles, but they didn't do very well. So I feel like SG, like 80% chance of winning the qualifiers.
That's awesome.
Those are good chances.
At Kiev, when they came out with the Brazilian flag and they were waving it and all that, was that like a? I've never had that, right? Even our American teams, quote unquote American teams, most of the members are from Europe or from other countries, right? You had a team that was everybody was from your country. Was that like a really awesome experience to see a video game that was represented by every member of your country? You know what I mean? Like when they were out there waving the Brazilian flag, was it like an awesome moment for you, or did you still want like OG to win?
That's kind of a hard question. I'm sort of a weird person in the sense that I am not really attached so much by country and stuff like that. But it was very amazing. I mean, those guys, I saw them in pubs. They are from my country, and I mean, it's actually very good to see people that were underrated, going so far in the tournament. So in that sense, I really liked that people could actually see that any region has the chance of going very far in the tournament or even winning it. But it's not like, whoa, that's Brazil, so I'm super. I'm not a nationalistic person,
Neither am I.
I just like that they were able to go that far, and they are from my country.
Yeah, no,
I was rooting for them at least.
I was rooting for him too. I thought it was really cool.
I was rooting for sure. I mean, it's not like I didn't want OG to win more than they. But when they lost, I mean, I was kind of rooting for OG.
After they lost, you're like, okay, well, SG's out of the way. OG, let's go. It was they just seemed, Adfinem was like. They were like dancing around and jumping in the booth, and SG was more like, oh my god, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
Like the difference is Adfinem was like, this is like party time and we're kicking ass, whereas SG like you could tell that they were just so emotionally invested and like so thankful to like be there, and it was really cool because you see these teams, they're like, oh, another LAN, and then SG was where they were like. They were super, just proud of themselves and proud of their country, I imagine, just from the flag and them wanting to do that. And I mean, I was like, damn, like that's some.
A lot of people don't know, but they are very old. They were the old Pain from Brazil, and they are together. I mean, for a long, long time. So they were very invested in winning, and it's amazing that Valve actually created the South American qualifiers and allowed them to go.
Yeah.
I find it super cool.
And I mean that's a pretty crazy place to go for most countries. Ukraine. I was considering it and was like, oh, Ukraine, you know what I mean? So it's I was really excited to see them there and was hoping that they take the whole thing. Especially, the guy who was playing Slark that had that amazing turnaround game on Slark.
HFN.
Yeah, HFN. Oh my god. I just search him and watch him play carry because he's extremely talented. Anyway, let's take our next caller. Our next caller is from Australia. No, sorry. He's from Australia.
He's from Australia, yeah.
I get it confused because Lynx and then we have another guy that's from New Zealand. Pretty close. His MMR is calibrating and he's kicking ass. Lynx, what is your question?
My question is basically, what are the top mid heroes right now in 7.06D, and really what makes them those top heroes? Like, what elements about them make them the top? And since also we have D2BOWIE here as a Leshrac connoisseur, where does Leshrac fit into the meta as well?
Okay, so top mid heroes, if you're talking about pubs, I was actually looking at the 5K best heroes at the moment. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Death Prophet, which has like 52% win rate. Then we have... it's actually weird because a lot of those heroes that you see being spammed, like Storm, Queen of Pain, Invoker, they don't have that big win rates. But the heroes with higher win rate are Death Prophet. And I guess Puck is very high on the list, if I'm not mistaken. But
Zeus is
when
usually
you...
up there too.
Zeus is what he was saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's Zeus.
That's true.
Yeah, DP's at a 51% win rate. Just looking at it just purely, with the 5K plus. Zeus is at almost 54%. Necrophos is at almost 54%, although a lot of people play it safe lane.
Yeah.
And then Viper and DP and Lina are the next on the win rate. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because you don't see even Lina, right? She's not on the top of the list, but it's the pros, they usually go for these other heroes. So
yeah,
I find it weird that Zeus only got played by VP, and they were actually, did they play Zeus on the summit, or was secret?
They played 50 different heroes in 10 different games, so I wouldn't be surprised if they played Zeus.
They played 85 heroes total.
Yeah.
Or no, they played 81 heroes total, something like that.
So statistics would say
Zeus
that
got
they
picked by
probably
somebody.
Yeah, I know they played support Zeus, Secret played support Zeus, but I don't know if VP played Zeus in another game. But I feel like Zeus is a very legit mid hero, very underrated as well. Sumail plays him completely different from everyone, and I'm actually going to make a video about it.
Please.
But what was the other question? It was like, what are the top heroes and?
What are the top
Leshrac.
heroes and what makes them, as well as Leshrac, but also so basically the two parts of the rest of them are what makes them good heroes in the mid lane, as well as also where does Leshrac fit into all of this, or is he just a really niche sort of situational pick? Okay,
so I feel like most of the heroes that are popular have some sort of pushing aspect. Zeus is not really the case, but I mean, Death Prophet, Lina, I mean, she can show waves, she can push towers and buildings. But I'm not sure if you can actually make 1 point for all the strong heroes at the moment, but I feel like there's a pushing aspect that was not so popular before. And about Leshrac, I don't know, man. I didn't try him so much in this patch, but when 700 came out, I felt like he was kind of buffed because of the shrines and all that, but I didn't really make the hero work. They did win with VP did win with mid Leshrac. No one was playing it. I don't know. Maybe if people actually get results, it's like PPD said. It's a good hero if you win a tournament, if you win professional games with it. I do like the hero. I feel like he's strong, but he doesn't have a lot of base damage, so it's kind of hard. They nerfed the lighting skill, so you need to use your stun to get less hits. I don't know. Maybe if you get 2 new talismans, you can make it work in the mid lane.
Going back to Zeus just for the summit, I looked it up. You were right. Team Secret played it. Yabzor played it as a roaming support. Because Secret is doing these like double roaming things. They played Silencer mid and then Zeus Spirit Breaker both roaming.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they did like a global strat with it. And Yabzor actually got a lot of farm. They actually really dominated this game, so that's not surprising. But yeah, other than that, Alliance was playing it mid, and and then MP played it mid in the qualifiers, and there were a few other qualifier picks from it.
Oh, okay. I feel like there was one EG game that Sumail actually played it, and he goes like Arcanes into Midas into Aghanims. And when I saw it, I was like, what the hell? But I tried it, super good. Easy MMR, guys.
Nice. And all I have to do is press like one button if I want to steal a kill instead of having to go to much more effort to steal kills.
I mean, the cooldown on Nimbus is not that big, so you kind of have like 2 global skills to help your team. You can use Nimbus to scout Roshan, you can push waves with the skill. It's pretty legit.
Yeah, it is. Lynx is only asking, by the way, Bowie, because every month we 1v1 mid, because he donates $50 a month to Defense of the Patients, and that is one of the rewards for donating. And he's trying to get some insight to beat me. But guess what, Lynx? Never going to happen, all right?
Oh no, I will be you. I've been with Viper, I've been you with someone else. I will be you eventually. No, it was Disruptor. I'd be with Disruptor mid.
Yeah.
I will be you with Zeus. Just
All right.
wait for that.
Good.
So you're gonna pick Zeus? That's fine. I'll
Yep,
pick.
I think that's right now.
What
Pick
is
Zeus.
the
Fight
worst
with
hero
Zeus.
against Zeus, Bowie? Like to go up against Zeus mid?
Let me think here. I feel like Queen of Pain can defeat Zeus. You only need to go like at level 3. Zeus still doesn't have a lot of damage. If you get a shtick, you'll be fine.
Who will Zeus beat? Who will Zeus beat mid like every time, or should beat mid every time?
Not a lot of heroes, to be honest. I mean, he can last hits okay, and it's kind of hard to actually dive him and kill him. But I'm not sure you can out lane a lot of people if you're just positioned well against the Arc Lightning.
Yeah. Boy, who does he beat?
What about like
like Techies?
Okay.
I don't
All
know.
right. All right. Techies.
Would he beat an Iron Man? That's the question I asked. Would he beat
Techies
Iron
versus
Man?
Zeus.
I'll destroy Zeus, man.
Yeah.
You get that level 2 balls,
Yeah.
just wrecks him.
I will play Techies versus your Zeus, Lynx, and we'll see. We'll do an epic match off. Lynx, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. Thank you for answering my question.
Of course. Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh, and I'll win too. It's gonna be great. I'll just blast off, get some wards. It'll be easy peasy.
I'm glad you're bragging.
I don't have much like social really social
Shame?
standing. I don't really have a. Dick. I don't. I don't really have much Dota confidence anymore. I've reached 3,800 and now I've literally crashed worse than like the Heisenberg blimp. Like I am like still like colliding to the core of Earth. Because I don't. Yeah. Anyway,
You should stop that.
I should. I'm gonna stop that by playing sniper.
Yeah. You should stop it somehow. Like you're. Yeah. As much as
Are you about to
3,800
give
may
me a
have been your.
compliment? Are you about to
Yeah,
give me a
dude, I
compliment?
compliment you all the time.
Whoa, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, 3,800 might be like your peak, but you definitely are not deserving of your current MMR. Like you just throw games because you're not what like it's what Proud always says is that you're good at Dota but incompetent, and Cyphus is bad at Dota but incredibly competent, and you just do stupid things that lose you MMR. Like you're not bad at Dota.
Will you make
just...
me not stupid then, Ursi? Because
that's what I try to do with you on a weekly basis on the podcast we host together, dude.
I feel like Bowie is speaking to me a lot more than you ever have, to be honest. Bowie's throwing down
as long
that
as somebody
wisdom.
can do it.
All right. Our next caller is Soli. He does not have an MMR.
Okay.
Soli, I play some Counter-Strike Go with Soli. He's a super cool guy. Soli, what's up? How you doing, man?
Roland, Ursi, what's going on? Bowie, nice to meet you, man.
Hello.
Hey, nice to meet you too.
So I'm just starting to really take Dota seriously, and I've played it and came from other genres. The game we will never speak of. And
League of
I was just
Losers?
curious, what? I'd say that's a good name for it.
of
I'm
Legends.
joking. I'm
We
joking.
could call it Trash Can too. It's either or.
I'm joking.
But I was wondering what lane or position you think would be great to start with for someone, considering you have background, and like, what heroes you would apply to that in your opinion and why.
Okay, do you have friends to play with or not? I guess
Yeah.
that's
He has a community to play with. Defense of the Patience.
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so considering you have very patient people that want to help you get better, I would suggest playing carry, because I feel like last hitting is something very important regardless of you playing mid, off lane, support. So just get good at last hitting, and I mean, providing you actually have people that are helping you in lane and all, get good at that, and then you will probably, I mean, I feel like if you're decent at last hitting, like you're gonna get like 3K. If you're decent at last hitting, getting the right items, you can get to 3K very easy. So I feel like it's a good place to start. Just pick those Sven, Luna's, Venge carry. I don't know.
Is that all it takes to get to 3K? I feel like I
Yeah.
should have that by now.
You had it and then you lost it because oh my god.
Wait, but weren't you like 3.8K?
I was
He was
3.8,
more than-
and I'm like 2.5K now. But I started
okay.
randoming and ranked, and I started
Yeah,
jungling.
the literal
and I
facepalm.
started, yeah.
Dude, it's like me. I've actually lost like 500 MMR this month by only picking weird heroes.
What about 1,300 MMR in the matter of like 2 months?
Anyway, okay. Also, I'd add Juggernaut. I think D2BOWIE is exactly right. I 100% agree. If you have people to play with, just play carry. Like, carry is... I never want to say any role is the easiest role, because that is going to immediately make people mad. But some roles are more linear in what their goals are and all that.
Yeah, it's definitely the correct word for it.
Like, people commonly... One of the more damaging things, I think, to teaching people how to play Dota is just saying, oh, just play a support. Like, just play Crystal Maiden or Lich or whatever. Because supporting is complicated, right? Like, from the get-go, you have to be like, all right, you're playing a support, it's your first game of Dota. At 53 seconds, you have to stack this camp. Then at 13 seconds, you have to pull it into the lane. Don't pull it if I'm under the tower, but do pull it if I'm ahead. Like, all that stuff is so complicated. So instead, saying, all right, you're just gonna hit creeps. It's gonna be simple. Then you're gonna get items. We're gonna tell you what items to buy, and then it's very linear, right? Everybody knows, kill people, all that. It's relatively simple in theory compared to like playing mid, which is complicated and has like the weird mid meta game, or playing support and not knowing what to do, and like people have fun playing carry too. Like if somebody's new to Dota, this doesn't really apply to you, Sully.
You get items, you get ages.
Yeah, you get double kills and triple kills. Things like that.
Nobody has fun being like, oh, I recently played with a friend of mine, Chris, who had not played for a long time. He played Spirit Breaker, and it was a really hard game. And granted, like he was pulled up like some MMR brackets because of like the party we were playing with. But he went 0-27 playing Spirit Breaker because like the poor guy just like didn't know what to do, and like because he was playing a hero that like he was uncomfortable with, and we didn't make him play support. He offered to play support because a lot of people do that. But it's just one of those things, like just play a carry, or like even some offlaners I'd say are pretty decent to learn on. But carry is definitely it. Just play Jug for like 1,000 games.
You seem like a Juggernaut type guy. Like Juggernaut.
I was gonna say Jug is the one that I had played in the past. Jug and Void were the two heroes that I played the most. And then I was starting to pick up support a bit just so I can learn more of the map, the meta, just get my awareness up. Because coming from the other game, I feel like the one skill that translated a bit better every time I was playing carry, I felt like I was always higher in creep score than everyone else. It was the one. It was the one skill that translated really well.
Yeah.
When you get 3K for your 3K birthday, I'll buy you Jug Arcana.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually, since you mentioned Juggernaut, I feel like if you're actually less hitting WoW, you should probably play Jugger or Lifestealer, because they are two heroes. Even if you're not very good in map awareness, you can always like rage TP or spin TP. And it's a good way, because a lot of people, they farm a lot, but they die every time they try to split push or go somewhere, because they don't have so much map awareness. And these two heroes are harder to punish, considering they don't have a Spirit Breaker in the enemy team. So I guess it's a good place to start.
Yeah, Lifestealer is the bomb. No pun intended.
Sully,
very nice.
I will totally support you in lane. If you need a lane partner, you dealt with my shitty CS:GO play. I will deal... I don't even think you'll be shitty, because you'll be like, oh, I'm not supposed to chase that guy? And I'm like, no, do. And you'll be like, no, I don't think I should. And I'll be like, damn it, you're not listening. And then you'll actually do better.
By support you, he means he's going to play, quote-unquote, 4 Night Stalker.
Oh, my God.
I'll buy a Stout, Quell, and Tangos, and I'll be there
in 4
minutes.
He's going to pull you one Tango, dude.
Yeah.
I need all 4, actually. I can't pull a Tango, but I will upgrade the Courier somewhere around 3 minutes. So 3 to 4 minutes. Anyway, Sully, thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. All right, our final caller that will wrap up the evening is Backward. His MMR is 2305, emphasis on the 05. And he has some questions for us. Backward, what's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Okay, my question is, is there any hero that you see and you're just like, you know the hero you're gonna pick against it, because like it's like your pet matchup, right? Like you know what to pick, you know what to play to counter it or to just beat it in lane, anything like that?
Invoker. Just pick PA and go mid. There's nothing more satisfying than a 0 and 5 Invoker at 10 minutes into the game. And I mean, like 3 supports going to gank you. you just blink strike away. It's super fun. It's my go-to hero every time. I guess that and Anti-Mage against Darkseer. They are the two matchups.
What about
really
Anti-Mage Legion Commander, Anti-Mage Bloodseeker?
Oh yeah, I mean I don't usually, because it's while Bloodseeker is pretty good against Anti-Mage, I don't like to go like off lane. I feel like you either need to go off lane or jungle Bloodseeker to counter the Anti-Mage, and I'm not a very good off lane player, so I don't usually go for it. But these are two very good counters against the Anti-Mage, the Bloodseeker jungle / off lane or the Legion.
Yeah,
I feel like it was better because they kind of changed the blade mail, and now it's not pure damage anymore. It's
how you take it is
counters the same type of damage. So Anti-Mage has a lot of armor. It's kind of harder to solo kill him, but it's still pretty good. Okay. And you also now have the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, people they didn't go for Lincoln Sphere so much before, and now I mean people like know how to go Eggs or to go. Actually, Eggs is terrible against the Legion, but it's pretty good against the Bloodseeker. But I feel like it's kind of harder to counter Anti-Mage now. A lot of people say the hero is not very good, but I have like 73% win rate the last year with Anti-Mage. I don't pick him a lot, but I feel like the hero is pretty legit in the right matchup.
Yeah. I would say my favorite counter pick is playing OD against any melee mid or spirit or what's his name, Storm Spirit. I love playing OD first of all, just in general, but specifically playing like OD versus Ember Spirit or OD versus Dragon Knight or OD versus Storm Spirit. Oh man, that's just the best.
Yeah, OD.
Oh my god, just thinking about it has me like wanting to go play Dota
if they
because it's just so fun.
Alternatively, if they pick OD, pick Sniper. And you will wreck OD as Sniper because OD will never be able to get in range of you, and that's my go-to thing is like, I don't know, any hero I guess if I can get Sniper mid, but especially OD because OD wants to Astral Imprison me, and it's like, no, you're not gonna get close enough to do that, and if you do, I'm gonna take you to half health or kill you.
Yeah, I mean. You generally just trade farm in that matchup, though. Like, if you're playing OD versus Sniper.
Exactly.
Like, Sniper doesn't really have kill potential on an OD.
You can, like, poke, though, with Shrapnel. Especially, I mean, at my level, they just will stand in Shrapnel, right? Like, I can place it, like, to cover the stairs to go back up their own side of the river, and they'll just be like, I don't know what to do, because I either have to walk toward you or walk away from the creeps. I'm just going to stand in it. And so, like, that's a different skill bracket.
And for the support viewers, you can always pick Rubik against Earthshaker or Jakiro. There's nothing more satisfying than stealing Ice Path and making a way better version of Fissure or Ice Path. I just love playing Rubik against those heroes.
Yeah, agreed.
Backward?
Also, Winter Wyvern against, like, I know backwards you're a big CK player.
Yeah.
Like, picking Winter Wyvern against basically anybody.
Meepo, though.
Any, like,
Meepo
melee.
especially. Meepo.
Well, yeah, Meepo
does
for
not
sure.
want a Winter Wyvern.
Terrorblade.
Terrorblade.
Yeah, that too.
That too. Yep. You hit meta, and then you're like, oh, God. I can't sunder myself. Yeah, so... I that's what... Backward, any of them come to your mind?
Okay, so recently I've been playing against Shadow Fiends and picking Necrophos mid against them. I don't know why it's good, but it just is.
Okay.
It has like 70 base damage
let's parse it.
with like a null.
So you're dealing constant damage with Heartstopper, which Shadow Fiend... I mean, that's percentage based. I was going to say Shadow Fiend doesn't have a whole lot of health, but that doesn't matter in regard to percentage based damage.
I think it's just more that like you have like 70 base damage, you stand right up in there and like Heartstopper or Death Pulse if he gets close.
I feel like until level 5 is actually amazing for the Necrophos. After level 5, he can deal a lot of damage to you.
Yeah.
But it's very good in the early levels because of the high base damage. Even though your animation is not very good, if you can start with no talisman 3 branches, you do have an edge. I have this follower on Twitter. He's like 6K, and he said he won a lot of MR playing Necro mid. So he probably faced Shadow Fiend mid. And he says he's actually a very good hero. No one can take you out of the lane because of the regen. Unless you misplay, I mean, you can always regen back with the denies and all that stuff. And with more creeps in the mid lane, you get more regen, right? So
denies,
with less hits or denies. So yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of people playing it, but the win rate's pretty high. So
yeah, healing's OP in pubs too. Especially the lower more you go, the better healing gets, just because people don't know how to deal with it as well, and people don't burst as well. Fights just go longer.
Yeah.
That makes a lot. Okay, thank you guys.
I would say my go-to Shadow Fiend counter is definitely just TA. Like if you play TA versus Shadow Fiend, you should never lose that matchup unless you get roamed on constantly or something.
Too. And I think Necro's for me personally, it's just as good against him.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works for you, right? Necros is just good in general too, and I
don't have the new thing though, so.
Yeah, I don't either. I did not.
I don't have
every other rare except for the
I just
Necro
got it
one.
today. But I just
Roland.
I got it today.
Yeah.
I have.
Can I ask your companion levels?
It's 1010 is my compendium level.
There you go.
1,000, okay.
Mine's 500.
I wanted to
Mine's
get the Aegis.
165.
I wanted to get the Aegis this year, so I decided I would get to level 1000, and it pissed me off because I had 26 chests to open, and I got the Coddle twice. And I was like, I don't want this rare Coddle. And then I finally got the treasure chest, and I got the golden CK shield, and then
apparently it goes in that order. It goes in the order of CK Pudge.
Is that true?
Oh wow!
Yeah, I heard it's true.
Oh my god! Because I want the Lena one so bad, and that's the last one. I hate the Pudge worm arm. I hate I don't like it. I don't.
So you only got the CK1 and you're 1,000.
I got 2 Coddles, and then I got 1 golden chest, and then on my very, very, very last box that I opened, I got the Necro.
Okay.
So I got 1 of each. I have 4 golden life stealers, 1 Slark, and then a bunch of the brood mothers. But yeah, it looks like they're only doing 1 ultra rare. I haven't heard of anybody who has received 2 ultra rares, even at high levels. And at this point, I'm not going to... I mean, I just wanted the Aegis because I want, it's something to put in some plastic Aegis to put in a frame to remember
this. It's not plastic, it's metal.
Well, I want to remember this time in my life. You know what I mean? What if my fingers get chopped off for stealing? You know what I mean? And I can't play Dota anymore. I can.
That does sound like a likely future.
I can remember my.
More likely,
time.
your kid bites them off or something.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He would just gum them to death right now. But yeah. One day.
There's a lot of suction in there.
Yeah. Hey, backwards. Thank you so much for calling in, and you're good. You're a good guy, and I'm sorry I deny every time you invite me to a party.
It's okay. I understand. You have to lose ranked games.
Usually when I say sorry, it means you're going to fix it. I'm still probably going to deny every time you try, but maybe not. You know what I mean? I just, I play solo and I lose MMR. That's what I do. But hey, thank you for calling in.
Hey, I'm soon going to be queuing into you, so it's okay.
Oh, we probably already would get queued together.
Yeah.
I'm 2550. Right. So, and you're 2305. So, yeah, we'd get queued together. And then we will play. But anyway, hey, good talking with you.
Yeah, good talking.
Okay.
All right, so for anybody interested, and you should be interested, if you haven't seen any of Bowie's videos, they're really easy to consume. It's not like, they're not super long videos. Some of them are long, some of them are short, but I promise you will get something out of it. Even if you are the type of player like Ursi who knows everything, you still will get something out of it.
I watch his videos.
I know. I'm just
I get many things
Ursi,
out of
I've
it.
got to have somebody around, and we made that pact all that time ago.
I will say the last one I watched was the Arteezy AM, and I hate Midas Anti-Mage so much. I had a very long Discord argument with some community people that are asking me my opinion because Burning does it. And not to completely detract from our plugging of D2BOWIE's great content, but man, I hate Midas AM. And just watching Arteezy do well with it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm a very avid anti-mage player, and I used to see and say, what the hell? But does Burning goes for it all the time, or is sometimes?
It's just sometimes. It's like those games where he knows he has to solo carry. At least that's my interpretation of watching Burning play AM.
That's what I take as well.
But, yeah. I also love ACAM. I'm a big fan of that. I know you mentioned that in your video.
Yeah, I love going for it. I'm like that anti-mage that only split pushes and take lanes by himself. So I go like butterfly assault and I just take the lane by myself. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, you can just go to Indiegogo.com and you can just type in D2BOWIE, Bowie like David Bowie, BOWIE, which we'll probably get more into the origin of your name tomorrow. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for a one-on-one interview with Bowie from Cyphus. I'm really looking forward to that episode, getting into what motivates him to do this awesome content and how he got to where he is. Ursi, you want to do the rest of the plugs? Because really, I don't.
Yeah,
I just wanted to plug Bowie. So
sure. Okay. All right, let's see. What next? On Twitter, I am at Ursinity. What? Pick 5? Okay.
Pick 5.
I'm at Ursinity. Does Twitter count as one for all of our Twitters, or does it count as one for each?
Shamelessly plug yourself and then plug the show.
All right. I am at Ursinity. Our show is at DotP_show. Bowie is at D2BOWIE. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Defense of the Patience. We have a website, defenseofthepatience.com. We have a Discord server, discord.gg/.p. That is where our community is. That's where we schedule our in-houses, which are Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. We also have the Monday Q&A recordings, which you're listening to now, on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern if you want to be a caller like we had today. You can also email us questions, defenseofthepatience@gmail.com. And that's we probably have other plugs, but I think I went over my 5 quota just by a few.
All right, so you for D2BOWIE and Ursinity, this is Roland saying you have questions, and Bowie will slow them down and answer them in an eloquent way.